Welcome to the third module of ABEJAS. This module will teach you about honeybee parasites, pests, predators, and pathogens that can be detrimental to honeybee colonies. Knowing these enemies is essential to protecting the health and productivity of your colonies. Let's get started. First, we will cover the most significant parasite, enemy number 1, Varroa destructor. We will call this mite Varroa for short. This video will introduce you to the Varroa life cycle, behavior, and available management options. Varroa is a highly problematic parasitic mite that is a significant threat to honeybee populations worldwide. This mite attaches to the honeybee and feeds on their bodily fluids, weakening the bees and transmitting harmful viruses. The impact on bee colonies can be severe, leading to weakened colonies, reduced honey production, and even colony death. The life cycle of Varroa involves a dispersal, sometimes called the phoretic stage, and a reproductive stage. In the dispersal phase, an adult female mite attaches and feeds on adult bees. Adult female mites are highly mobile and can move from bee to bee. A female adult mite in the dispersal stage changes to the reproductive stage when she finds and enters a brood cell right before it is capped over with wax. After the cell is capped with wax and the developing bee larva stretches out, belly up, the mother mite starts to lay eggs. The mother mite lays a male egg first, then all subsequent eggs are female. The eggs hatch into nymphs, which go through several developmental stages. The mother mite opens a feeding hole on the belly of the developing bee where all the mites feed. The mites defecate on the ceiling above the developing bee. Once the nymphs mature into adult mites, they mate with each other. When the bee emerges as an adult, the adult female mites emerge and disperse to infect other bees and brood cells. The male and immature females do not survive. This cycle repeats rapidly, with each female mite producing 1 to 2 offspring per reproductive cycle in worker brood and about 2 mites in drone brood. This leads to quick population growth and increased infestation in the colony. When the mites feed on the adult bees and developing brood, they transfer viruses such as deformed wing virus, or DWV. The feeding and transmission of these viruses can lead to various health issues within the colony, including compromised bee immune systems, reduced bee lifespans, and ultimately colony collapse. While inspecting honeybee colonies, be on the lookout for visual signs of mites. There are 2 signs that you may see in adult bees. One is a mite on a bee as the bee is walking around in the colony. More than 90% of mites on adult bees are found on the bee's undersides, so you will likely see mites on bees only when mite levels are very high. You may also see bees with shriveled, misshapen wings. This is caused by high levels of deformed wing virus that might spread from bee to bee. Check the underside of bees with deformed wings. These bees will often have a mite on their underside. Another sign of Varroa infestation is mites in the brood. Look for capped brood cells opened by worker bees, meaning that you can see a developing pupa instead of the waxed cell cap. Inspect the cell for small spots of white on the ceiling of the cell. This is likely mite poop. In the spring and summer, look for mites in the drone brood. Mites are about 12 times more attracted to drone brood than worker brood. This isn't a good way to estimate the mite population, but the absence of mites on drone brood is a good indicator the infestation isn't at super high levels. When mite levels get high, you may see brood damage. This is most common in late summer into fall. Look for spotty brood patterns, numerous uncapped cells, pupae being removed by the colony from their cells, and melted white brood. It is difficult to save a colony that has reached this level of Varroa infestation. To find out how many mites are present in a hive, you'll need to test for mites. Mite signs are only readily seen when levels are already high, which is why it is important to quantify the mite infestation instead of relying on visual signs. Testing for mites will help you check if your mite management strategy is working to control mite populations. Monitor mite levels on a regular basis to build confidence that you are keeping mite levels low year-round. The most common method of testing used by commercial beekeepers is sampling adult bees and removing the mites using alcohol or a detergent solution. This method is called an alcohol wash. Other methods include using a sticky board under a mesh bottom board or using powdered sugar to dislodge mites from adult bees. Some operations outsource mite counts by sending samples of bees to nearby diagnostic institutions or university bee labs. Researchers have found that if an alcohol wash sample contains 3 or more mites per 100 bees, or 9 mites in a 300 bee sample, the levels are already at a level where the colony can suffer serious damage and should be treated for mites as soon as possible. Be sure to use your regional mite thresholds. Manage mite levels to keep populations low throughout the year to maintain healthy and productive colonies. Depending on the time of year, your operation should employ a variety of management practices called Integrated Pest Management, or IPM for short, to keep mite populations low. One tool used by beekeepers are miticides that include the chemicals amitraz, oxalic acid, thymol, and formic acid. Time treatments to avoid disrupting bee activities, prevent honey contamination, and align with brood cycles. Some chemicals cannot be used when honey supers are on the colony or if outside temperatures are hot. Treating Varroa mites can be labor-intensive, and overuse of treatments can lead to pesticide resistance, which lowers the efficacy of approved treatment methods. Before applying a treatment, test colonies to estimate the number of mites present. Test after treatments to confirm your treatment sufficiently controlled mites. Varroa can be incredibly detrimental to honeybees. Managing Varroa populations is vital to reducing the spread of parasites and pathogens and supporting overall colony health. Next, we will expand on other parasites, pests, and predators that honeybees deal with. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment below to let us know what additional topics you would like us to cover in future videos.